Viewers, I'm sure that your social media must be flooded with rumors of Virat Kohli quitting the world's biggest T20 league. The day started on a sad note for RCB fans as rumors broke out that King Kohli has decided to retire from IPL ahead of the 2026 season. There have been a lot of speculation over whether he's moving to a different franchise for the first time since the inaugural edition or not. So what exactly are we talking about? The rejection of a commercial contract by the RCB legend has led to speculation on social media. Many RCB fans are today asking what's the future of Virat Kohli and their franchise. This is what netizens are asking today. Will Virat Kohli be retiring from the IPL? Did Kohli refuse IPL sponsors? Has Kohli's future with the RCB become uncertain now? Is Kohli parting ways with the RCB, and did he not renew his contract with the RCB? But viewers, here's the difference. Many are wondering whether Kohli's decision to reject a contract means that he's ending his time with the RCB, when in reality, the conversation has never been about his RCB player's contract, but only about a commercial contract. What does this mean, and what exactly is the difference between the two? The commercial contract, there are sponsorships, endorsements, and brand associations that are done. Now, the playing contract, on the other hand, is participation and training, the payment as well as the code of conduct, and terms or basic outline of the commercial contract could be there. There's also the fact that the commercial contract is between the franchise and the sponsor versus the playing contract, which is between the franchise and a player. Now, we've seen, of course, also. All right, let's quickly take a listen to what really has happened when a popular YouTube channel that often puts up news on players' movement in IPL reported that Kohli could be headed towards retirement. However, this particular YouTube video has now been made private as the baseless rumors of retirement have been fact-checked. And Times Now is the only channel to get you a response from insiders inside the RCB. Now, top sources in the franchise have completely quashed the retirement rumors. Let's tell you more. They've come out to say that Kohli is the rumor of Kohli retiring from IPL. Sources claim that Virat may retire from IPL anytime he wants. That retirement is in no way linked to these commercial packs. There's also a rumor that Kohli refused an IPL sponsor. RCB sources claim that there's no sponsor in direct contact with a player. Sponsorship deals are with a team and not a player. There's also a rumor that Kohli won't return to the RCB, and RCB sources now saying that the player contract is not linked to the commercial pack. Sponsorship deal renewal is a routine process. There's another rumor that Kohli's IPL future is uncertain, and sources now say that RCB will discuss deliverables with Virat. For example, there is a primary sponsor of Qatar, so Virat's available for that. Virat may opt out if there's a conflict of interest with his other endorsements as well.
You're watching the News Hour at 10, debate number 2 on Times Now, Super Prime Time.
Let's introduce our panelists. Vedam Jashankar, sports journalist, is with us. Alan Sippy, former cricketer, is with us. Ranjit Bajaj is founder and director of the Minerva Cricket Academy. But I want to get a quick word from Karishma. Karishma, you've been speaking to several of the top sources of the RCB, and they've completely come out to say that this is nothing but speculation, and that this linking of a commercial contract with Virat Kohli's future at RCB is completely fallacious and wrong. What are your sources telling you?
Well, it's absolutely, Madhav. Like you mentioned earlier, if Virat Kohli wants to quit IPL, he can do that tomorrow, no questions asked, and the RCB will have to agree with him. But this commercial contract will have nothing to do with his retirement decision. If you're talking about, the commercial contracts being renewed or not being renewed, because the commercial contracts, as per RCB sources, are between the franchisee and the sponsors. If they want a cricketer, if they want Virat Kohli in this case, then they will have to go through RCB. And remember, only main sponsors get access to the main players or the biggest players that are available in the franchisee. Small sponsors will obviously not get the big names or the bigger players. But, the main point being that these commercial contracts have nothing to do with Virat Kohli's player contract, which is, if we go by the
Thanks so much for joining us, Karishma, and getting us that exclusive story, because clearly there's been a lot of speculation. Very important to set that right. Let's quickly take this right back to our panelists. Alan Sippy, if I can come to you first. One video sparks a whole lot of speculation. And you see this entire lot of commentary on social media where people have come out to say that, no, it's the end of the road for Virat Kohli. And, there are other examples. There's an example for Dhoni, who's played well into his 40s and continues to play in the IPL. So what really has caused this confusion? Perhaps it's important also for commentators and even perhaps to that extent journalists to be a little careful about what they put out when it comes to big names. Alan Sippy.
Frankly, Madhav, the story, actually, there's not much juice to this story. Yeah, frankly, Madhav, there's not much juice to this story as far as Virat Kohli retiring from IPL. There's absolutely zero chance of Virat Kohli retiring from IPL. Let's get that straight. There's no chance at all. Because Virat Kohli is there to play more cricket. He's retired from Test cricket, that's fine. He's retired from T20, that's fine. But there's absolutely zero chance of Virat Kohli retiring from IPL cricket. Now, what is the situation right now that we're talking about is RCB have to get their act together. We are talking about a box office cricketer. We're talking about a cricketer who's completely box office. So now RCB has to get their act together. If they want to retain him, they've got to move pillars to post. They have to do something special. Because this man has given his life to RCB. There's absolutely no doubt on that. He's won them the championship finally. So he's done wonders for RCB. But now there are other teams looking at him. And I can tell you this. It's a very similar story to Ronaldo. When Ronaldo left Man United and he left other teams, the Saudis went for him. Today, the entire rest of the cricket teams are looking at Virat Kohli thinking that this guy is completely box office. So
right.
They will want him. And watch the space. I won't be surprised if Mumbai Indians, because for them, it's easy for Mumbai Indians to go and take Virat Kohli because it'll be a genius move. It'll be a brilliant move if Mumbai Indians get them, because you will have Virat Kohli and Rohit Sharma perhaps in the twilight of their career, but it's completely.
But is he even going to change teams? That's a big question indeed. In fact, that's a.
Cricket is concerned, Virat Kohli is here to stay.
Yeah, Alan Sippy, but will he even need to change teams? That's a very big question, because Ranjit Bajaj. Yes, one can understand why the speculation would have started, because there's some talk of, change of ownership as far as RCB is concerned. We've seen posts of those who are interested in taking over the team and have praised the team, so on and so forth. But can you necessarily put two and two together? Even if there is a new owner of the team, the management changes, he can always renegotiate his contract, isn't it?
Not only that, Madhav, thank you so much for having me. See, not only that, because I really think, like, I totally agree with Alan when he says that he's box office. He's more than that. The number of cricketers in India who would fill up a stadium is Thala, obviously Dhoni, even though, he's on the lower side of his career. That means he's not doing that well on the pitch. But Virat has no problem there. His average of 54 was the best he's ever had. He's got 8 centuries last time, 8 half centuries. That means he almost single-handedly got them there with an average of 54 in T20 is crazy. Then playing 267 games for one franchisee, and showing that kind of loyalty. Then also having a tremendous kind of a fan following, and him making Namma Bangalore his own home. The kind of love the Bangalore people have, it will be the biggest, if, by the way, RCB do let him go even to Mumbai or to anyone, it will be the biggest mistake they can ever make in their franchise career, because not only has he done, I've heard that the value of the franchise has gone up by at least 1,500 crores just because they won this title. And now, at this time, no matter who the new owner is, if you want a good owner to come up with a good valuation, trust me, if you have Virat Kohli, you will get at least 1,000 crores more than you would get if you have no Virat Kohli. Doesn't matter. So economically, on the field, it makes sense. Every place it makes sense. And let me tell you, Alan is very right. If he's still sticking on to the same one that he's never going to leave RCB, I don't think he is. And if he's going to retire, he's going to retire. If he does, it's great, because that means he is actually saving himself for one day and for India. But that would be carrying it a little bit too far.
There's always a silver lining, whether he retires, whether he doesn't retire, Vedam Jaishankar. But, you're a resident of Bengaluru, and Bengaluru saw a terrible, terrible tragedy in the form of the stampede that took place when RCB won its maiden IPL trophy. The big question is, at that point of time also, there were a lot of questions surrounding the organizers. Some even questioned the cricketers, though perhaps it's not their fault directly. But, does all this sort of add up to the speculation? Can all this be the cause for the speculation happening? Because I did show you that video where, this entire speculation frenzy started off. As somebody who's covered cricket for decades, how do you look at this entire controversy? Vedam, can you hear me? All right, I think we've lost that line there. You would like to take that question, Alan Sippy? Could this entire tragedy, the stampede, have played any role? Perhaps played a role in the speculation, at least, if not in terms of what Virat was thinking?
Not at all. Not at all, not at all. The stampede had nothing to do with this, Madhav. To be honest, Virat Kohli has given everything to RCB. Now it's RCB's turn. RCB has to figure out, if you want someone of Virat's stature, you have to move pillar to post. You have to understand, this guy has given you everything. Now if you need him, if you want him, which I'm sure they want him, it's going to cost extra and extra and extra. It's not going to come cheap, because this is the twilight of his career. It's going to come mega bucks, and he deserves it, because it's not just about him scoring runs. Like Ranjit rightly said, it's not about just scoring runs. It's what he brings to the table.
Absolutely.
Today, it's not about Ronaldo scoring as many goals when he's playing, but it's what he's doing for football in that country. So when Virat Kohli joins another team, he brings a package. It's box office. It's something completely different.
Yeah.
So I'm certain that there are other teams will be very happy with this conversation, what's going on, and it's wonderful to know.
Vedam, your view on this, because even though he may be contracted with the RCB, there's very little that a team can do if he does decide to take that decision, and does with, of course, a rejoinder that this is something that is entirely speculative at the moment. Vedam.
Yeah, Madhav, it's absolutely speculative. See, Virat has been in Bangalore for the last maybe 20, 22 years. From the time he was 14, he's been with the HCA and right through his media. So RCB and Bangalore are actually a second home for him. He's been there for that long. Now, Virat is a brand. Just like RCB is a brand, Virat himself is a brand. So what would he do? See, the brand also has got a limited value, especially somebody like Virat Kohli. He is at the fag end of a great career. What is he going to do after that? I don't think he's going to throw away the brand value and the brand name just on an ego or whatever people perceive it. He will continue playing. And for him, the kind of devotion, loyalty, love that he's got in RCB, he's not going to get that anywhere else. So I think Virat Kohli, whichever way you look at it, he's an RCB guy. He will continue playing for RCB. The rest of it is speculation. Yes, there are commercial aspects of it. Yes, there is brand value that he is bringing. Yes, they need to exploit the brand value to the maximum. And this may be perhaps the last time they could do that. 2 years down the line, they won't be able to squeeze more money out of that brand value. He probably has to do something else. And let's also not forget that a cricketer like Virat Kohli, for the last 20, 22 years, he has been on the playfield throughout. That has been his school, that has been his college, that has been his education. So this is his life. What is he going to do after that? Why would he throw away everything just to, please somebody? So I think this whole thing is speculation. He will continue playing for as long as he can, unless somebody makes him a deal that he can't refuse at this fag end of his career. But that could probably come not from an IPL team, but from an IPL franchise playing somewhere else, playing elsewhere, maybe in Australia or England or somewhere else. They could make him an offer, a very big offer, and he might take that. Because like I said, the fag end of his career, it's better for him to milk it as much as he can, though of course he's also a multimillionaire many times over already.
Absolutely. Vedam, thanks so much for putting that so succinctly and explaining that to our viewers. Vedam Jaishankar, Alan Sippy, Ranjit Bajaj, thank you so much for joining us this evening.